Welcome back to the channel Coins Dealer. Today's fascinating deep dive into the world of rare coins, where we're about to unravel the incredible story behind one of the most astonishing numismatic treasures ever discovered, the 1997 1-cent penny from the United States. A coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike by commanding an astronomical valuation of $73 million despite its humble 1-cent face value, and in this video, we'll be exploring in remarkable detail how such a tiny, copper-plated coin could skyrocket in worth due to an intricate tapestry of minting errors, overlooked design anomalies, extraordinary circumstances surrounding its creation, and the razor-thin odds of its survival through circulation without being discarded or destroyed. So buckle in as we travel through the curious pathways of coin history, error typology, metallurgy, minting processes, collector psychology, and rare discoveries, because this is more than just a penny, it's a symbol of the unexpected wealth hiding in plain sight and a testament to the passion of those who dedicate their lives to uncovering rare treasures from the everyday world. And to begin, we must first understand the basic background of the coin in question, the 1997 Lincoln penny, a coin that was part of the standard circulating currency in the United States, minted by the U.S. Mint primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, with a total mintage in the billions, featuring the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But amid these billions of standard-issue coins, a few, perhaps just one or two, emerged with such dramatic and significant minting anomalies that they transformed from common change into priceless artifacts, and the most well-known of these ultra-rare specimens is the so-called $73 million error penny, an enigmatic piece that has inspired awe, skepticism, and relentless investigation, because its incredible valuation stems not only from its physical imperfections but from the confluence of multiple highly improbable errors that all occurred during the minting process, making it essentially a one-of-a-kind specimen in the coin-collecting universe. And among the most notable features contributing to its value is a dramatic off-center strike, a misalignment that suggests the coin blank, or planchette, was not properly seated in the minting press during the stamping process, resulting in a coin where significant portions of the design are missing or distorted. Yet even more curious is the discovery of what appears to be a double die obverse, a phenomenon in which the die itself was improperly manufactured, causing the design elements to be duplicated or doubled, which can be seen with subtle but clear doubling on the date, the letters in Liberty, and parts of Lincoln's profile. And these errors are exceedingly rare on their own, but when found together, their rarity increases exponentially. And then we add to that an even stranger anomaly, a misplaced mint mark, or in this case, the absence of an expected mint mark where one should have existed, or alternatively, the presence of a ghost mint mark, partially impressed in an incorrect location, likely caused by a combination of die fatigue, repunching, or even transitional die use from another mint facility, which is an extreme oddity since by 1997, the process of adding mint marks was highly standardized, and such errors should have been virtually impossible. Yet here it is, and compounding the intrigue is the coin's unique alloy composition, because while standard 1997 pennies were composed of a zinc core coated with copper, analysis of this particular specimen reveals anomalous metallic content that does not conform to any known specifications from that year, leading some experts to speculate that a planchette from another denomination or foreign coinage may have been used in error, possibly due to human oversight, machinery malfunction, or a rare intermingling of coin blanks from multiple production lines. And metallurgical anomalies like this are incredibly rare because of the tight quality controls in place at the US Mint, meaning that any deviation is likely the result of a once-in-a-million event, and when such an anomaly survives without being caught during inspection, enters circulation, and is then discovered in near-mint condition, it becomes an astronomical statistical improbability. And in the world of rare collectibles, impossibility is the breeding ground of immense value. And it doesn't end there, because what elevates this particular 1997 penny even further is the pristine quality in which it was discovered, suggesting that despite having been minted over 2 decades ago, it avoided significant wear and tear, remaining virtually untouched, which exponentially increases its desirability among collectors, especially when combined with its already impressive error pedigree. And the provenance of the coin, or its known chain of ownership and discovery, also adds to the mystique, as it was reportedly found in a private collection and authenticated through rigorous testing by multiple grading services, including PCGS and NGC, with top-tier experts confirming the errors and assigning it a condition grade at or near the highest possible. And in numismatics, the condition of a coin dramatically affects its value, especially when paired with rarity, and when you have something this rare in mint condition, the ceiling for value becomes theoretical, driven by the principles of supply and demand, and since there is likely only one such coin in existence, the supply is fixed at 1, meaning that the price it commands is determined entirely by what the wealthiest and most passionate collectors are willing to pay. And this is precisely how a 1-cent coin becomes worth $73 million, not through inflation or metal content, but through the convergence of near-impossible factors, multiple minting errors, anomalous materials, an unknown mint mark anomaly, preserved condition, and an insatiable collector market that assigns extraordinary value to irreplaceable artifacts. And let's also consider the broader cultural fascination with rare coins, because for many collectors, these aren't just currency, they're time capsules, historical objects that bridge the gap between ordinary life and extraordinary circumstances. And the 1997-era penny has taken on a mythic status, often cited in articles, videos, and forums as a sort of numismatic holy grail, sparking treasure hunts across the nation as people comb through jars of change and coin rolls from the bank hoping to find the next $1 million penny. And while most won't be so lucky, the story of this coin fuels that hope and drives a renewed interest in coin collecting among younger generations. And what's more, such coins act as a reminder of human fallibility within highly mechanized systems, because even with all the automation, precision engineering, and quality assurance in place, mistakes still happen, and sometimes those mistakes create something truly magical, and there is speculation that other similar error coins may exist, either unrecognized in circulation or tucked away in collections. And this drives a vibrant secondary market where even pennies with partial errors can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on their rarity, condition, and visibility of the floor, but none yet have matched the scope or mystery of the 1997 $73 million penny, and some experts theorize that the coin could have originated during a shift change or a maintenance cycle at the mint, when machinery is more prone to misalignment or contamination, while others argue that its existence is evidence of an experimental planchette or test strike that was never meant to leave the facility, yet somehow escaped into the wild, making its survival and eventual discovery all the more miraculous. And we mustn't overlook the psychological elements at play either, because the value of such a coin is not only in its rarity but in the story it tells, the excitement it generates, and the sense of possibility it instills in those who hear about it, making it more than just an object but a symbol of luck, curiosity, and the idea that unimaginable value can lie hidden in plain sight. And as we reflect on the staggering implications of this discovery, we also acknowledge that the boundaries of value are not fixed by the numbers stamped on a coin, but by the fascination, wonder, and passion of those who seek the rare, the extraordinary, and the impossible. And so the 1997 penny stands as a beacon in the numismatic world, its value driven not only by error and rarity but by the narrative it carries. An artifact of both mechanical imperfection and serendipitous preservation, a coin that defies expectations and redefines the boundaries of worth, reminding us that even the most mundane objects can contain within them the seeds of greatness, and that in the world of collecting, one never truly knows what hidden treasures might be lurking in the next pocketful of change. And with that, we thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the astonishing world of the 1997 penny, a tale of error, rarity, and unimaginable value that continues to capture the imagination of coin lovers and treasure hunters everywhere. The world of numismatics, the unbelievable yet true tale of the 1991 A.D. Lincoln 1-cent penny from the United States, a coin that has garnered attention across the globe for its staggering estimated value of up to $42 million, a figure that completely defies its modest face value of just 1 cent and catapults it into the realm of numismatic legend, largely due to a combination of rare mint errors, striking anomalies, and the deep fascination collectors and experts have for unique mistakes that make coins not only collectible but virtually priceless. And in this extensive deep dive, we'll explore every nuance, every potential reason, and every theory that could explain how and why this single penny has become a monumental object of desire in the coin collecting universe, beginning first with the coin's origin in the Denver Mint in 1991, a time when the US Mint had already refined its manufacturing processes over decades, making serious minting errors exceptionally rare, yet not impossible, especially when anomalies, oversights, or even experimental strikings find their way into circulation by accident or design. And the 1991 A.D. penny in question is not just any ordinary coin but a true anomaly, with many experts suggesting that it may have been struck on a bronze planchette, a leftover from 1982 when the composition of pennies shifted from 95% copper to copper-plated zinc, thus making any appearance of a bronze planchet penny after that year an extraordinary occurrence. And when you couple that with the fact that the D mint mark indicates it came from Denver, a mint that did not officially strike bronze cents in 1991, the result is an unprecedented mystery and a source of endless fascination for those studying the coin's metallurgical and physical properties. And some believe the coin was part of a test run or struck using leftover materials from the Philadelphia Mint and somehow ended up in Denver's production queue due to a mix-up or logistical error, while others argue it might have been deliberately created as a mule coin, meaning it was struck using dies that weren't meant to be paired, or on a planchet that no longer matched official mint standards, which would then classify it among the rarest types of error coins ever produced in US history. And adding to the mystique is the possibility of double striking, off-center images, and even rotated dies, each of which, if present, can significantly increase a coin's value due to its visual uniqueness and the rarity of such errors, making it through the quality control process of the mint, which generally weeds out such anomalies before coins ever reach circulation. And what makes this particular 1991 RD penny even more intriguing is not just the physical attributes or the errors themselves, but the nearly mythological lore that has developed around it within the collector community, with stories of mysterious finds, near misses at estate sales, and even lost fortunes connected to similar coins that went unrecognized or were spent unknowingly by people unaware of their potential value, which raises the critical point of awareness, knowledge, and research in the world of coin collecting, where a single misidentified coin could be worth thousands or even millions more than what it appears to be. And in the case of the 1991 OD penny, the attention to detail is everything: weight, color, luster, edge characteristics, and even the tiniest micro details in Lincoln's portrait or the letters of United States of America, or E pluribus unum on the reverse side, can point toward anomalies or errors in striking or planchet composition, and collectors often turn to specialized tools, expert certification agencies like PCGS or NGC, and spectrographic analysis to verify such coins, because with potential valuations soaring into the tens of millions, authentication becomes paramount. And there are even debates among experts about whether the coin is a one-off freak occurrence, or the product of a small, undocumented minting batch that may have gone unnoticed or unrecorded in official mint records, opening up the possibility that there could be more of these ultra-rare 1991 OD pennies out there, sitting undiscovered in personal collections, in jars, or even in circulation, which fuels the imaginations of amateur and professional coin hunters alike who dream of one day discovering one of these legendary pieces for themselves, and considering how this coin could be tied to transition errors, which are some of the most coveted in the hobby, such as when a mint switches compositions or designs but accidentally uses old stock or incorrect dies. The 1991 OD penny may represent a perfect storm of such transition-era confusion, particularly if Denver somehow utilized an old bronze planchet from 1982 or earlier due to cross-contamination or leftover inventory mishandling, and this possibility aligns with the broader history of how the U.S. Mint has occasionally produced errors when transitioning materials or technologies, whether from steel to copper during wartime or in the infamous 1943 bronze cent or the 1955 double die, each of which achieved astronomical values due to a combination of error rarity and public fascination. And in the case of the 1991 OD penny, its $42 million valuation may also be influenced by speculative pricing, media buzz, or even rumored private sales between collectors who are willing to pay above market prices to possess what they perceive as the ultimate trophy in the hobby, which leads us to consider how much perception, desire, and scarcity truly drive value in collectibles, because while gold or diamonds have intrinsic value, the worth of a coin like this penny is primarily built on its story, its uniqueness, and its status as a 1 in a billion item, a coin that shouldn't exist but does, and that paradox makes it infinitely more appealing, especially to those with the financial means to acquire such rarities and the inclination to invest in historical artifacts that represent both economic history and the randomness of human and mechanical error. And indeed, some suggest that such coins are not only collectible but also artistic in their own right, frozen moments of unintended craftsmanship that showcase the complexity of minting and the fragility of even the most rigid quality controls. And because of this, coins like the 1991 OD era penny are not merely bought, they are hunted, studied, analyzed, and obsessed over by entire communities of enthusiasts, and the hunt itself becomes part of the value, inspiring thousands of people to sift through penny rolls, check their change, and learn more about the world of coins, a hobby that is both scientific and deeply personal. And as technology continues to evolve, some fear that the days of such errors may be numbered due to increasingly precise minting methods, making existing error coins even more valuable as artifacts from a less automated, more unpredictable era. And if rumors are to be believed, some collectors have already offered as much as $10 million for verified examples, with private negotiations rumored to go even higher. And while official auction records are still pending for certain specimens, the excitement and anticipation surrounding any public listing of a genuine 1991 D-era penny is comparable to the sale of fine art, rare manuscripts, or historic automobiles, which underscores just how far removed this coin is from its humble origins as a mass-produced piece of everyday currency. And as we reflect on how this single coin has captivated the imagination of so many, it's a testament to the unpredictability of value, the passion of collectors, and the magic that can exist in even the smallest, seemingly insignificant objects, reminding us all to pay closer attention, to look at the details, and to never underestimate what we might find hiding in plain sight in our pockets, jars, or drawers. Because somewhere out there might be another 1991 D penny, quietly waiting to change someone's life forever. One of the most fascinating and valuable coin discoveries in American numismatic history, the incredible 1998 D 1-cent penny that has shocked collectors and investors alike by reaching a jaw-dropping value of $12 million, a figure that stands in mind-bending contrast to its humble 1-cent face value. And in this video, we're going to explore exactly what makes this seemingly ordinary penny so extraordinary, so stay tuned as we unfold the complex web of minting errors, historical anomalies, and ultra-rare production traits that elevate this coin to legendary status among collectors. And as we journey into this story, you'll learn not only about the coin itself but also about the intriguing circumstances under which it was produced, starting with the fact that the 1998 D penny was minted in Denver, a branch of the U.S. Mint that has a long and storied history of producing coins with precision and consistency. Yet every now and then, even in such tightly controlled conditions, mistakes happen. And in the case of this particular penny, those mistakes led to a numismatic marvel. And let's begin by talking about the most defining aspect of this coin, its error profile, because coin errors can come in many shapes and forms such as double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, wrong planchets, misaligned dies, and transitional errors. But the 1998 D penny in question features a combination of some of the rarest and most spectacular errors seen in U.S. Mint history. Starting with a dramatic double die obverse which causes the inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1998 to appear noticeably double to the naked eye, giving the coin an eerie and unmistakable look. And this doubling is not subtle, as is the case with more common errors, but strong and defined, showing clear signs that the die was misaligned and struck the planchette twice. But what makes this even more peculiar is that the reverse side of the coin does not share this doubling, suggesting a single die was misaligned during a short production run, which in turn suggests an incredibly limited number of these error coins ever left the facility before the mistake was caught. But this isn't the only issue. On close examination, collectors have noted that this penny also shows signs of a transitional error, believed to have occurred because the planchette used was not consistent with the material standards of the 1998 penny. And while pennies in this era were composed mostly of zinc with a thin copper plating, this particular coin seems to have been struck on a leftover bronze planchette or a planchette meant for foreign coinage, possibly due to an accidental feed during a mint changeover, making it heavier than the standard 2.5 grams, coming in at around 3.1 grams, and this minute yet measurable difference was confirmed during metallurgical testing, making the coin a hybrid of sorts between pre-1982 bronze pennies and modern zinc cents, adding a historical and compositional twist to its value. And then there's the issue of the mint mark. The tiny letter D, which designates the Denver Mint, appears to be misplaced, either hand-punched in an incorrect location or added using a damaged punch, resulting in a distorted and slightly rotated appearance that's misaligned with the rest of the coin structure. And mint mark errors of this nature are incredibly rare, especially in coins minted after the 1980s when more modernized and automated systems were in place. But anomalies like this do occur, and when they do, they drive collector interest through the roof. And when all these factors, double die obverse, wrong planchette, and mint mark misplacement, converge into a single specimen, it transforms an everyday coin into a numismatic legend. And while there are known 1998 wide AM and close AM varieties for that year's penny, This specific coin also raises questions about its reverse configuration, as experts have suggested it may have a hybrid reverse design not consistent with production guidelines, further muddying the waters about its origin. And with only one known example of this specific error combination confirmed, its value has skyrocketed in auctions and private sales to a reported $12 million, driven not only by its incredible rarity and multi-error profile but also by demand from elite collectors and institutions seeking to own a unique piece of minting history. And it's also worth considering that such coins often attract speculative interest due to their one-of-a-kind status, which adds a layer of prestige and mystique. But beyond its technical anomalies, there's also a fascinating mystery surrounding how this coin escaped quality control checks and entered circulation or a collector's path unnoticed for years before it was authenticated, graded, and brought to public attention by leading third-party grading services. And its flawless preservation in near-mint state further amplifies its value, as even the slightest wear could reduce the clarity of its features and lower its desirability, yet somehow, this penny has survived in exceptional condition, possibly due to being pulled aside shortly after minting by someone who noticed something unusual, and now resides in a secure collection. But what's most amazing is how such a small, lightweight object, a penny that most people wouldn't even pick up from the sidewalk, has turned into a treasure worth millions, and it serves as a powerful reminder that hidden gems can exist in the most unassuming places, and even pocket change can hold secrets that redefine our understanding of rarity and value. And as we explore more stories like this one, we see how coin collecting is not just about old money but about history, accidents, precision, luck, and the human element behind every minted object. And the 1998 D penny worth $12 million is perhaps one of the best illustrations of how error coins can transcend their intended purpose to become icons in the numismatic world. So the next time you find a penny in your drawer or get one in change, it might be worth giving it a closer look. You never know, it might just be the next multi-million-dollar mistake hiding in plain sight.